Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
Great, man. Great as always. How about yourself?
Coach, I'm doing absolutely great. And I'm ready to go on and get right to it. I want to get right to it today. I want to get right to it, Coach. Anything you want to say before we go? Because I'm ready to get right to it. I'm gonna let you.
Man, I'm just as usual observing.
Okay.
Um, you know, keeping my natural high.
Okay.
I fly there
What happened?
tomorrow. I'm flying out tomorrow for about a week. So
Oh, okay. I got to holler at you. You kind of cut out when you said that. I know it's that time. I just didn't
yeah,
know when. Okay, yeah. So we got to talk about
yeah,
that. So
tomorrow
you leave
morning.
out tomorrow?
Yeah, in the morning I live.
Okay. Okay. I got to holler at you about that. All right. So let's jump on this right here. And then I don't know if you want to share, or we'll wait till you get back and how things went further as you leaving, or how you want to do that.
I mean, I do. I get back.
Okay, okay, okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll do it then. So right now what I do is I want to make sure everyone know what a story is before we even get started. A story. A story is an account of an imaginary or real people and events told for entertainment. Remember that, a story. And stories are rooted in real places. We have to be careful with that. And some of it is rooted with historically real people. But it's a story, it's some truth, and it's some fiction, and it's kind of mixed in. And growing up, I've always heard Bible stories. No one never told me that it was the Bible truth. I've always heard, even, yeah,
True.
I've always heard Bible
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stories. And so, but the religious stories from the ancient cultures are myths. Remember that as we go on through this. And a myth is a widely held but false belief or idea unsubstantiated by fact. Remember that. Coach, I want to talk to you today about the truth about God, the unknown, and religion. And I should have put either a sensitive or a emotional disclaimer on this one. Yeah, yeah, because
Well, they tap in, they'll get it. I mean,
okay, okay. And
they
you
get
just
it.
you just jump in as I move through this, and I definitely want to get what you think about God, the unknown, and religion. I just want you to go. So we're gonna jump into it because when we talk about these things right here, we really certain people feelings really begin to go up to a higher level until they begin to shut down a lot of times. But as long as I'm telling the truth, then I'm gonna tell it. And if they can come on and share with me where I've told the non-truth, I would love to hear that in the comment section. If you agree, definitely let us know. Hit the thumbs up. I'm saying that we're
Mm.
watching certain things, but we're not hitting the like. If you don't like, share what the reason you don't like. If you heard something that wasn't true, then bag it up and show us how it was not true. I would definitely love to hear that. So let's break it down. Let's go. Let's break this title down. So when we think about the truth, we're talking about the accordance with fact or reality. We're talking about truth, accurate or exact. Now let's get deep. Here come the disclaimer part. Because we're getting ready to talk about God. So grab your seatbelt, strap it on. Family, God is just a word. Slow down. Just because you capitalize it, the G, it doesn't make it special. It's capitalized because it's a proper noun. So a lot of us don't know English. It's not capitalized because it's special. It's capitalized because it's a proper noun, meaning it's capitalized because it's either a person, place,
Place or thing.
or thing.
Thing. Yeah.
And religion, especially Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, write about God in the masculine. I want everybody to hear it. Making God a he. And when you look at the Proto Indo European root of the word God in English, it simply means to call or to invoke. That's all it means. That's all it means, coach. So man wrote about the word God and made the word special. Man wrote about this word, and man wrote and made this word special. And when the different religious groups began to take the one you call on and give it different names, I want everybody to hear that. Show me where I'm wrong. It was man who took that word. It was the different religious groups who took that word and began to put their own names to that word, the one you call, the one that you invoke. And in Christianity, they began to, how could I put it? They began to use synonyms to describe the one you call on. And a synonym is a word or phrase that means exactly or nearly the same as another word or phrase in the same language. So when they began to use creator, that's a synonym. The Almighty, that's a synonym. See, it means the same. When you hear the creator, you think about God. They got you. When you hear the Almighty, you think about God.
Mm.
When you hear the Supreme Being, you think about God. These are synonyms of that word, God. We gotta understand English. And it's many, 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 many more words. I can go on all day with the Rose of Sharon and Jehovah Jireh and Jehovah Nisi and Jehovah Rapha. I just can go on for about 3 days naming all of these names that when you hear them, you think about this word, God. See what man is writing. I want everybody to understand. This is man writing. This is man writing. And another synonym for the word God on the deities is devil. Because you have people who worship the devil.
Devil, yeah.
Ah, it's the one they call. It's the one they invoked upon. I don't know if anybody ever thought about that.
But you see that's why when you ask certain questions, when people say they're Christian, they believe in God, you know, which God you talking about? Because your actions is kind of devilish to me. So which God are you talking about? I think people figure that, you know, that's a tongue-in-cheek question per se. No, you gotta ask. If the action don't line up, then maybe they're serving a different God than the one you know or the one you talking about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we
Abs-
need to be careful. Another thing too, man.
Said,
So according to logic, according to science, um, the woman is the vessel per se that brings forth life, right?
absolutely.
Of course, with the presence of a male. Okay. So why is it the creators referred to as male? I mean, just something to think about.
And see,
Why?
coach, a lot of
Oh, what we call Earth what? Mother Earth. We don't say Father Earth. I've never heard someone say Father Earth. We say Mother Earth.
Mother
I'm
Nature,
just,
Mother Earth,
I'm just saying.
the
So,
creator. Your mother is the
uh,
creator.
I'm just thoughts, people. Just thoughts. That's all it is. So,
But that's real though. And see, that's the problem with religion. When we begin just to believe in something, it takes your thoughts away. Now you're not thinking, you're just following something. But that makes plenty sense because you do have a group of people who say that the woman is God because she is the creator.
creator. Yeah.
That's
She
why I
carried light. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's why,
Yeah.
coach, we would,
Yeah.
it was the writers. That's why I try to make it very transparent. It was the writers who came in and made that deity that they call in God masculine and began to call it he. So now you got to capitalize the G because it's a proper noun, because they're saying you're talking about a person now. See, we're not thinking. We're not thinking. That woman can be, you have a group of people because no one can prove that God is in the masculine. You can't prove it. That's just what man wrote about because he
Yeah.
wanted to be the dominant one, they say. What you got to say?
I just, yeah, as you talking and listening, and I'm talking past experiences and dialogue with folks, man, I come to the conclusion there's a fear factor within people of questioning certain things.
Absolutely.
Fear of the pushback. If that person you're talking to is supposed to be a quote unquote theologian, the fear and the pushback, you know, and then the fear of the unknown. Well, man, if I ask these questions, something might happen to me. But you know what I mean? I really believe so, man, because if we're supposed to have common sense and logic, then we're supposed to be critically thinking. We're supposed to have questions, and there's nothing wrong with that. How are you going to grow if you know what I mean, don't have questions and don't, so yeah,
And
man, that's what I see this. So,
when you saying that right there, growing up, they would tell you you don't question God.
there you go.
That see, you understand.
You don't
So
question.
yeah, don't question God. And then when you start talking about theology, watch how simple theology is. Theology is the person or the one just can soul out to just studying about that word. That's
Right,
all it
right.
is. That's it's so you it sounds good. Theology, oh my God, a theologian. It's just a study of a word of God. You just studying the writings that man have wrote long time
Yeah,
ago. That's all you've done. You're just being indoctrinated into a certain writing. It's nothing special about it. And just like I said, you have people who worship the devil. That's their God. That's a true story. And it's just a concept. And that may get somebody, but God is just a concept. The word, them having you thinking of this supreme being. Coach is just a concept, and a concept, rectified concept, that is, the concept makes it seem as if it is something real, yet it was created by humans. Concept is an abstract ideal, a general notion, a thought, an abstract general idea that is derived from, listen to this, specific instances or occurrences. Get this. In other words, a mental representation or understanding of something that exists in reality. So you take the things that happen to you in your life and you give thanks to this word, God, because man has made the word God supreme. So when you call on God or whatever it is you believe in, you are connected to that in your mental. Listen to what they have done. I told you everything starts from here. If I can get you thinking about something, if I can get you to believe something, if I can get your mental. So now it's your mental representation or your understanding that whatever can happen to me in my life, I need to invoke on this supreme being. Now, what happens by me believing in that, it makes my religion true to me. Because especially if what I'm calling on and what I'm asking for, if it come out in my favor, then my religion have to be true. They got you mentally.
So what happens? You flip if it happens the other way, because the flip side of that coin, it doesn't work out. Whatever it is you were pursuing, praying for. So what do you do now?
Right. So now they give you an excuse because it just wasn't time. They're gonna have an excuse for you when it don't work out that way. See, now you don't look at, well, dog, is it not a God because it didn't happen? No, they got in it. Well, depending on what you was praying for, what you was asking for, or whatever it was, then now it just wasn't time. Oh, okay. They got an excuse for you,
Mm.
coach. It just wasn't time. Because what we have to understand, and we know that religion is a belief. That's all it is, family. Religion is a belief, and a belief is to accept a statement is true or that something exists. We just accept it, don't make it true. When you accept something, coach, it does not make it true.
I think that's the part where a lot of people are stuck and they feel some kind of way
Mm,
because all they hear accept not true. That's all they hear. You know, what you saying is true. But if they're so locked in that common sense doesn't matter, logic doesn't matter, then, you know, I get it. And then too, I've heard years ago, I never forget this, man. It's late. Some people too, on one hand, they call God the supreme being. That's what they say.
mm,
But their action is like so miniature. I'll give you an example. This lady said she had this overheard conversation, told me she had some shoes, and supposedly her girlfriend wanted the shoes, and she don't know. And then what she said after that, I guess I had to pray in it. And I'm like, I'm saying,
mm,
so
mm.
you got something that somebody want. It's either you're gonna give it to them, lend them, or not. You got to pray about that. I said, wow.
Yeah,
But people are people, man.
yeah. People are people,
People are
coach.
people, man. People are people. So, you
And
know,
we gotta wake up, though. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. And just because you're part of a religion, and it simply means that you have just agreed to go along with what they're saying. That you've just agreed to go along. It doesn't make it true. You just have accepted it. So, I mean, that's a fact. We just got to deal with that. And I'm gonna get off of God. I think I've shared enough information. If anybody want to shoot me a comment, let me know what you think about that, good or bad. Let me hear what you
let,
think.
let,
Go ahead
let me just
on.
add this too, man.
Say it.
That's why I stay in the lane that I'm in, and simply mean this: truth or false, whether a story is the truth or false. There are things that you can extract from it and incorporate in your life, or even spark a thought to make your perception different. And like I always say, religion to me is just a bridge close to spirituality. So they get to the fluff as opposed to the essence. No one wants the essence. No one wants the principles. No one wants, you know what I mean? They just want the fluff. They just want to throw the chapters around, the verses around, the scripture around, you know. And I believe, man, if people pay attention to the essence, little by little, just incorporate in their life, man, society be better, man. The world be a better place.
Absolutely.
But you gotta want to, you know what I mean? So, man, I
Absolutely.
need to make a change. I need to, do something different. You gotta want to do that, So
Coach, you know what? And I see what the people say about this right here, but Coach, it's the unknown taking this out of the title. No one knows who started it all.
that's true.
No one knows who started or what started it all. No one knows, Coach.
Even the so-called educated,
We'll never know.
you know.
Like I say, I always say, no one was back there. And like you were saying earlier, so I say that if you tied to a religion, and you were speaking on this earlier, take the morals, take the standards, and take the principles of that belief and live it. I have
Yeah.
no problem with someone being a part of whatever religion I don't care, whatever religion you are part of. But my thing is, just like Coach was saying a little earlier, you saying that you believe, but your actions saying something different.
Different. Yeah.
So if you're going to say that you are a Christian, Jew, Islam, whatever, I don't care what it is. I should, as a matter of fact, if I'm around you for a while, I shouldn't even have to, yeah, I shouldn't even have
Yeah.
to, you know,
It's evident. It's evident. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
it should show in
Yeah.
some
It's
type of
evident.
way. It should
Mhm.
show in some type of way. But the only way you can live it, this the only way you can live it, Coach, is that you are truly connected to that unknown. If you believe that's that unknown that man has given a name to, no one knows. That's why so many names have been given to it. So if you really believe, you got to really connect to that unknown that dwells within you if you're a believer. Because saying you believe without being connected, it means nothing. And that's what I see a lot of. I see a lot of religious people that's going to church, that's doing this, that's doing that, that say that they believe, that say that but I don't see them living it. That's the problem. That's the problem that I'm seeing, Coach. And they wonder why they have no power. You have no power because you're really disconnected from that which can give you power because you're so caught up in being part of a belief or a religion till you're not truly connected to the unknown. I just want them to think about that for a second. Being part of a religion, it doesn't mean nothing unless you live that belief. It don't mean nothing unless you live that belief. And when you read the Bible, I taught from it for 22 years. When you read that Bible, and people are every day, and you can go on YouTube and you can see channels of full and views full this, and all they doing is giving their perspective and their opinions about a little truth and fiction, some
Yeah.
places, some people that was real, and they going at it. And people like to hear that. But not one person can prove that God exists. Not one, because it's unknown. They're going on about what, and when you think about it and you really listen to them, they're going on about the different stories that was written or how they are interpreting the different
And
scriptures. That's
so,
what, right. That's what they can't nobody on there prove God, can't nobody on there prove Jesus. There is no empirical evidence about God. There is no empirical evidence that prayer works. As a matter of fact, when the University of Duke did the study, it showed that the people who didn't pray, things came out better than the ones who prayed. That's a study they did. So there's no empirical evidence. So we only give credit to when it happens in our favor. But then when it don't happen in our favor, then we have where it just one time or whatever, where there's an excuse for it.
Mm.
So that's the truth about God. That word God, that's a proper noun. That just means to call or to invoke. That's all that is. Is that unknown? If you're gonna believe in anything, you better tap into the unknown. That's what you better tap into. Man has written and made this masculine, this the he. But just like Coach said a little earlier, I never heard what father, mother, what you say is
Father Earth, always Mother Earth.
Mother Earth,
Mother Earth, Mother Nature.
Mother Nature, Mother
Yeah.
Earth. That's the one
So,
who I ain't never seen man give birth.
yeah.
That's the creator, the mother, the woman. And you have people who push that unknown is a woman. I mean, how could you deny that person? It's just not so many have wrote about the masculine, so that's what
That
most of
overshadows,
it
overshadows
overshadows, right? So that's
yeah.
what most people went to. But believe me, you have the ones out there that minister out that the woman is God. And then, like I said, a lot of us haven't thought about it, but you have that group out there who say that the devil is God because that's the one they worship. So we gotta wake up. We gotta wake up and we gotta go to those solutions that watch this right here. If you say right now, I'm part of a religion, let's take the person as part of a religion. If you're not doing well physically, mentally, or spiritually, I just want you to think about it. What good is that religion doing you if you're not tapping into that religion so you can build a strong foundation for yourself? What good is that religion doing you? And those things in there, in that religion, dealing with the mind, the body, and the soul. So it lets me know that if you're hurting in those three areas where it's something that you need to be accountable for, you need to be responsible for, then you really just let yourself down. Following formality, a custom.
Mm. I had a question today. I asked someone, they're, talking about someone telling them certain issues they had. And my question is like, man, do they really want a solution? Do they really want change? I really think some people don't want change because they know if they invite that change in from how they move, how they think, they got to change all of that. And that's a whole lot of reporting for a lot of people. Folks don't want to do that, man. They rather just stay in the little shallow waters and keep drifting on, man. I really believe that some people don't want to deal with a solution or a change.
That's
Even
real.
though it could be right in front of their face and they can see the logic, they don't want it for whatever reason,
Mm,
you know. But
mm. And you know what? By you saying that, I was talking to someone, and they was telling me about someone called them on a constant base, always telling them their issues, their issues, their issues. And so I asked the person, why would you keep taking the call?
that's
I,
it.
I just want you to
That's
think
it.
about that.
Like, yeah.
You want to sit and tell me about someone calling you crying every day about something that's going on in their life, relationship, but you're listening to it. You thinking
Not
that
only, but you're not only listening to it, you're absorbing all of that. That has to do something negative to your spirit, to your soul. Come on, man. No, 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 no. I'm gonna give you the solution. And that's it. Don't call me about this again. You do what you want. It's your life. I mean, that's just me. I don't need to invite all of that. I don't know. I don't need it, man.
Yeah,
I don't need it.
and
Yeah.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Why would you keep listening? So it lets me know whether you know it or not, something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
Something is
Yeah.
to to keep listening.
Yeah.
Coach, this is where I'm at in my life. This is where I'm at in my life. I can only deal with you based on your mental state and
True.
and
Okay.
your behavior. That's where I'm at. I can only deal with you based on your mental state and your behavior. It's only other than that, it I can't do it. I can't do it. I
Mm.
if you looking for a solution into something that you're struggling with, let's do it. Let me see you put that work in because it's gonna take some work to solve that problem. It's going to take some work.
Yeah.
It's going to take some connection within yourself. And what it takes is this what it takes. That's why I love when we come on, we talk, I give solutions. This what it takes for whatever you're going through in life. It takes you connecting your mental state to that which dwells within you. That's what it takes. I'm telling you what it takes. So whatever you going through in life, whatever you're going through in life, it takes your mental state, it takes your mind. This is your mental ability. It's the part of you that thinks, knows, feels, and decides. That's your mind. How do you activate it? You have to activate your mind by either defining, imagining, or envisioning what it is you want to achieve.
That's it. Yeah.
It's we make it so hard because we don't know the
Yeah.
meaning of words. We don't know how to do. That's it. What you have to do, you have to connect that mindset to I say your soul because I use the mind, the body, and the soul. So your soul is where your discipline coming from, your consistency coming from, your tenacity coming from, your self-love coming from. I'm gonna use those four right there. Once you connect the proper mindset to discipline, consistency, tenacity, and self love, it'll start changing your life now, right now. Joining a religion, you're talking about, well, I'm going to start going to church Sunday. So you're going to wait to Sunday to change? I'm telling you something you could do starting
Right
now.
now.
Starting now. Start using your mind saying, you know what? Where I'm at in life, where I want to go, where I want to be. Let me start thinking about it. Let me start activating my mind. And then once I figure it out, then let me connect it to discipline, consistency, tenacity, and self-love. And I'm guaranteeing you that your life will start to change. I'm talking about solutions. I'm talking about solutions.
Like I said, man, if they wanted to change, I really think, I'm telling you, I really think some people, they're thinking about the stuff they had to do. They're like, man, I'm gonna stay right in La La Land in
And
the warm waters, shallow
that's what it is.
waters,
That's what
and
it is.
just keep floating like that, you know? Because come
That,
on, man,
that's what it is.
you know.
That's what it is. I can remember going into the boxing gym, coach, when I was fighting, and people had been watching it on television and watching boxing. And I guess they were saying, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. You understand what I'm saying? And then once you get in that gym and they lace you up and put that headgear on just for you to go a couple of rounds, once a lot of them guys found out what it take and what they're gonna have to do to achieve,
And let it go.
I,
They don't want no parts of it.
they don't want no parts of it. And so that's just what you're saying. When you to change your life, they don't want no part of it, coach. Once they saying it looks good, they saying what they want to do, right. But once they enter it and find out what it takes to get it done, that's all right. That's all right. Because
Yeah.
for you to go to another level, it's two words that we always use, and that's your responsibility and your accountability.
That's it. And
That's just
the
so
thing
simple.
about it, like I said, some people are so what I call cliquish. They will have to literally leave their clique behind. They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that, you know. Especially if that click makes you feel like you're bona fide, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
They're not ready for that. So they're gonna complain and complain and complain, but I let them know, man, hey, I got a solution for you, but if you don't want to take it, that's on you. I'm not gonna keep, I don't want to hear that crap, you know.
But let me tell you, you said that that was one of the most profound things that ever happened to me in my life by you just saying that. And it was one of the hardest things I had to do. Ended up being one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And that's when I cut certain people loose.
Mm,
That was by you saying that, and I've told the story on certain occasions. One of the hardest things I had to do at the time ended up being one of the best things I've ever done
best
in my
thing.
life when I had to cut certain people loose. It was hard, boy, because boy, it was hard, but it ended up being one of the best things I ever done because I was standing there at 15, 16, 14, 15, 16 years old with guys who was 30 and 40 years old, and I saw my future. I said,
Mm,
damn, I don't want this. I
yep.
don't. So I personally, as an individual, and each one of us as an individual, it's going to take you to be accountable for yourself and say, you know what? I don't want this. This what I want. And then that's what you're going to have to shoot for. So I've given it to them, coaches, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. I'm done.
Mm. At the end of the day, man, it's just life. It's just life, and it's just things, gems, I call them, that we drop here and there for you to, logical questions, use your logic, common sense, and put it all together to, live a better life. If you already living your great life, okay, more power to you, but we talking about folks who struggling.
Mm.
And despite the fact, it doesn't matter what area you're struggling, you still got to tap into your mental to start that change. Start from upstairs. You start from your computer, you know. So do you want change? Ask yourself the question, to be honest. Do you really want change? Okay. So how far are you willing to go? What are the things you're willing to do to get that change? Your life, man.
Mm.
Your life, your decision. What you want to do, entirely up to you. So the power's in your hand, man. Like I heard a piece that said, we got the power of death and life in our hands. Just use it wisely, you know. But that's my take, man.
I leave it right there, and I make sure, guarantee that I'll take heed to the things that you say, Coach. And I thank you so much. And until the next time we come together, take care of yourself.
Man, do the same now.